That felt pretty real, didn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. I think that when you really get down to it, there are only two ways those punches are going to come in. Somebody's going to be hooking, smashing around this way from the side, or it's going to come straight in. I mean, whether it's a jab or whether it's over the shoulder. So I think of those as the grandma and granddaddy of all punches. Either going to be a hook or that straight shot coming right in. So for self-defense type fighting, that's the best place to start. That's what we really need to look at, because that's what people are going to do when they lose control and go into violent mode. Words fail them. Their mind starts shutting down. They go into physical action. Let's work with some targets. We'll do a little bit of timing drill on that next.
Sir.
I think the really important thing for us to realize about this earth element is that it's one of several choices that our body and our emotion, maybe our spirit, our perceptions are going to make. So it's one of the choices, and that choice is I hold my ground. That's one option. So there are some people that tend to that option more often. So we call them earth-like people or earth people. Even our English language has terms like a earth mother type, or they're cliches like this person's got both feet firmly on the ground, or standing firm or standing tall. So these kind of things represent what we might call this earth element.
I want to think about using this hand edge. I want to hurt that arm. I mean, I could do something like this and kind of cover up, but then he's going to hit me. He's going to hit me with that one there. So cutting that edge, get a little knee action in there. Why don't you swing a few at her here? Yeah, just holding your ground, just sing. Oh, that's it. Good. Cutting edge.
Stop it!
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
Stop it!
See if you can.
Stop!
Yeah, stop. Right now, what you're doing is you're moving into another mode, the water mode. So I'm going to have you maybe lift and come down on her a little more. Where you, in fact, I'll be the wall. You can't back up. I'm the wall. You're up against the wall.
Stop it!
Yeah.
As a response to conflict or pressure, earth element is the tendency to want to make it stop and go back to what it was before the problem started. This is earth, nature.
Stop it! Nice, good, that's it. Let's try this. Could be this one, could be that one. I'm here. Hey, back off, pal. Just stop it. So as soon as we hit with that, pull your hand back. I'm not gonna have you retaliate yet. Try that.
Stop it! Stop it!
Yeah.
Stop it!
Okay, now try this. Just hands floating here, like you don't know it's a fight. Okay. Hey, I'm just trying to talk this jerk back. All of a sudden it goes.
Stop it!
Oh, that's it. Yeah. Hands just like there.
Stop it!
There you go.
Stop it!
Oh, nice. Very good. I'm the bad guy. Okay. I'm coming in for a female. Hey, I want you to reach out and grab hair. Somebody might do that. Hey, get back here. This is the same thing. So when I reach in, just see if you can push that hand away. Yeah. Good. Just like, yeah. Ooh, you keep that in there. Where the hand now is coming right back into center line target, because you're going to be coming right back in. Yeah, good.
Stop!
Yeah, good. You got that cutting edge. You're hitting that arm. You're not blocking. You're not covering. You're nailing. Oh, real good. That's it. Stop!
This earth response of wanting to stop the trouble, stop the problem, make it go back to what it was before is a very natural response. Some people tend to that more often than other choices. Now, what would the opposite be? If you think of the opposite, that's a person who would take the problem and kind of accelerate it, make it go past us. That would be the wind, right? Kind of capture the problem, get out of the way, and just keep it going. And that's a valid response too. We'll work with that in another training session.
How'd that feel? Pretty real?
Yeah, that felt great. But I was noticing I was really going backwards a lot and feeling like I had to flinch backwards. What would I do to keep my stability against someone faster and stronger?
Yeah. In fact, I was kind of the wall on one of those. Now that's actually a skill. That's a skill in the water level where I'm going to use my footwork. But let's say you didn't have that. You do need to maintain that stability. As this comes in here, one of the things I want to do is remember to keep my rear end and my heels in alignment that way. So I don't think of bending my knees. See, if somebody bends their knees, their rear end goes out.
Right.
If I go push my knees forward, just push your knees forward. Yeah, now as I'm pushing, yeah, just lift your hand up. I'm just going to keep pressure on you there. Yeah, good, good. So you're sinking. Just try it the wrong way. Put your butt out when you think of bending. So if you, yeah, see, yeah, good. That's what we're not doing. So just keep that stability there. James is pushing on me here with that. Yeah, that's what I want to be able to do. But not from, if you all of a sudden surprise me, pull your arm out of the way. You know what I want to be able to do is I'm not leaning on him or anything like that. Try that a couple times. Get in real close, real close. Just lean, push. See if that's working. See how that's working.
I think the other thing that we want to emphasize with this earth element when it happens for us is a very strong sense of stability. I'm holding my ground. I'm holding my own. And it's going to happen in every lifetime. Every person's going to be able to experience this. Some people experience it more often than others.
Now, I mean, nobody's going to hang around like that in a fight, but I mean, as a drill, as a way just to test that out. So remember, it's ankles and hips in alignment, and we do that by pushing the knees forward if you can't move. And again, it may take some training. So actually, my shoulders are over my hips, over my ankles too on it. So for self-defense training, we better practice against what people are normally going to do in the throes of crazy violence rather than fight against somebody who does our own style. Everybody that I know who's very accomplished at Tosindo is a wonderful person. So they're not going to be attacking you. It's the other people.
Isn't it awful dangerous to be punching somebody in the face or your face?
Yeah. I always say, this little tiny bone here going against this big bone is like punching a bowling ball. But I mean, it's so important that we create a real attack scenario, because there are a lot of people that do that. I mean, I certainly don't teach it. The idea of coming here, bang, hitting down this way, people flapping their elbows around and doing all this. I mean, it wouldn't be good martial arts. It wouldn't be good boxing, but people do it, and so it's important that we be able to deliver that. So one of the things I find people do is sometimes they'll cock a shoulder back, hit across this way, so they're moving with their shoulders. So we ought to be practicing that so that we can defend against what something would be very real. Other times they'll start with a shoulder and stop it, and that gets kind of a swinging action across here this way. And I've actually seen people in casts after street fights from punching that way. I think a good Tosindo way to train would be open hand. Dang, this is a real underrated weapon here. Just that palm hitting, bang, we're hitting across this way here. Fingers, certainly, because this is self-defense, not boxing. Fingers coming in there. And we certainly can get a hook in there as long as our elbow is staying down. If I'm coming across into throat, or if I'm coming across this way here, a more intelligent way is just keeping that elbow down and centered this way. Old days, bare knuckle boxing, boy, people used to keep the elbows in and these fists up this way. It looks kind of funny compared to today. Most people see boxers moving this way because of the shape of the glove and so forth. So we want to imitate more with those old bare knuckle guys, because to get hit here, bare knuckle, brutal, whereas maybe I can train to take it with a boxing glove in there. Let's work some of these hits. Let's do some of these swings here. So, coming off the rear hand and swinging across, just for the heck of it, go ahead and ball up a fist, make it one of these things. Yeah, that's really great. Yeah. And you're getting that little twist across the back leg. That's really good. Yeah, very important to have that. Let's adapt that a little bit to a little more self-defense. Open it and just whack with this lower part of the palm on that. See if you get that. Yeah. The challenge is no telegraph. You know, there it is, and then last minute, boom, it just pops out of there.
So we can see in our physical makeup, the earth is the lower base part of the body, the legs and the hips. Water we would associate with the abdomen, fire with the solar plexus and so forth. So in our self-defense training, we're usually doing this from a very natural position. The weight's on both feet at the same time. We're holding our ground as opposed to other elements that have more maybe dynamic kind of footwork.
Hey, just calm down, just calm down.
I don't want to calm down. Stop! Stop!
Whoa, whoa, friend, just calm down. We can talk about this.
Stop it! Stop it right now.
I think the other thing that we want to emphasize with this earth element when it happens for us is a very strong sense of stability. I'm holding my ground, I'm holding my own. And it's going to happen in every lifetime. Every person's going to be able to experience this. Some people experience it more often than others.
Get your hands off me. No! Get your hands off me. No! Hey, get your hands off me. No! Get your hands off me. No!
A person puts his hands on with that grab.
Well, maybe legally I have the right to do something because I feel he's going to attack me and he's maybe said he was going to. I might say something to get his brain paying attention. Hey, get your hands off me now. Yeah, he doesn't want to, so I'm going to use that real sneaky kind of a thing. If I wind up, oh yeah, he'll feel it coming. So from right here with that, it just comes up very quickly, and then I'm shielding here just in case if he starts to grab or flail, I can hit with this hand here. I don't worry about this being on me because now I know what it's doing, and that's fine with me. So from this, hey, get your hands off me. Hitting here a couple of times. And really that stun right under there. Hit this to knock it away. Then I'm going to get out or gain control of the person. But for basic self-defense, best thing is just get out of there because we don't know whether they got friends or buddies or whatever. So get out the door. Very important. Let's try this. I'm going to have you do the grab. And
Get your hands off from me!
Yeah, good, good.
Stay back.
Good. And even though his hips are much higher than you, you're just bringing that straight up. That was working well. Go ahead, do that one again. Come here, wait.
Get your hands off from me!
Yeah, I like the way this other hand was coming up too, because if I'm grabbed here, before I move, he might hit. So I'm at least shielding, protecting this way so I've got a chance to. So yeah, and it looks pretty good. I mean, it looks like what the person expects. I'm kind of surrendering from here. He comes up very quickly, and even if he feels it moves, bang, I'm making him look the other direction there that way. If I hit this and he's still on me and he spins around to come and get me here, yeah, then maybe I'll engage this arm in some kind of a locking technique that will force him down from there, whatever he would do next in the fight. Take him on down, this will break because it's folding the wrong way on the way down.
Try that where you're going to actually get that hand caught in there. And there's that knee, there's that shuto in there. Here's his hand coming in to get you. Yeah. Now what I did was I just came behind this leg with mine and swept it out. Yeah, yeah, good.
Get your hands off from me!
Here's this other one coming out. Yeah, that's great. Just double arm break. Shuto action works even if this person has grabbed me here. If I try to punch him, I can't do anything with it. But with this grab here, just going right out from there. In fact, the firmer he holds this, the more it's going to serve me as a leverage unit that way. I'm opening this hand, letting that hand pop open just at that last second. I could hit the base of the jaw. I could hit the temple. That's very good. If I hit once and he's leaning back, yeah, I can even catch eyes with my fingers. This is shūtō as well, just catching the eyes with that finger in there. Collarbone, hitting in there. Yeah, if it moves over and he pulls my arm down, I can't get that shūtō back from there. Just come right back up from the other side with something there, just to drive him. Now I use this shūtō hand. When I first studied martial arts, we used to open our hand up, and if it kind of flexed back, and I thought of this as a karate chop or judo chop or something like that. But with this one, we're keeping our fist together at the last minute. Pops open like a little roof, and that way I'm finding I can hit edgy things with this muscle a lot better than I could with this bone here. So doing that, and then from there it's easy to turn into a grapple technique. Pops open, I can catch it. Looks like a fist. Boom, last minute, fingers go into eyes. Comes across from there. Just practice putting it right into my own hand. But getting that timing of when it pops open, that's really important on this.
It's also important to look at how these role models operate. So again, as we were talking about, there are Asian examples of this, and I enjoy studying it, and that's a part of what I bring to the table. Is I've studied this, but I also know my culture well enough that I can translate it so this is usable for people in the 21st century here in the Western world. That seems very important to me. We're not just memorizing or flirting around with somebody else's culture, something from 2,000 years ago in the Himalayas or in India or 1,000 years ago in Japan. I mean, that would be fun, that would be stimulating, and there are scholars that are doing that. But what we're trying to do is get valuable stuff, usable stuff. What would this earth command? What would it feel like? How can I use it? How can I have this be of more benefit to me? That's my real objective in doing this, is translating it culturally.
All right. Oh, that's the other half of the equation, huh? They're hitting us with these hooks or straight pierce. One of the things I think is important on that, when that straight pierce is coming in, just skittering by, I'm just out here. Later on, when I'm more advanced, I don't even need that hand. I'm getting punched here, whoop, just go by, and I could hit in there with that. Lead hand shoots in, same thing. I can just skitter by there, but for now, I think it's best to be able just to get used to batting that away, gaining control, and again, knocking them back. I could do this. I could ball up my fist if I don't have gloves on. That comes in, whoa, bang, and we could hit somebody that way, but again, you've got these little bones. If that person drops their head, I might, hit the head. So that's why I like a finger jab or palm heel. And then, I got all this rubber on here, but you can still feel those kicks coming in.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So I think if we can aim right for that, what do you call it? Speedo swimsuit, Speedo line, right where all those nerves are, then on the outside, person can't chase me, follow up. Straight line hit. Later, let's put those together. Could be a hook, could be a straight shot, could be a kick, could be a tackle. We'll play around with some of that back and forth.
All right.
One thing I found with this earth level of self-defense is that because it's ground holding, it's very direct. We're stopping the action and moving it back out of the way. Probably this is never going to show up on many martial art movies. I mean, it's not really exciting looking. We're not leaping through the air or doing any of the dynamic footwork that we would in our, say, water element or the explosiveness of fire element. But it's important for self-defense, very important for self-defense, because sometimes that's what needs to be done. We need to contain the problem and restrict it, and that's our best response.
let's work with some street type kicks. Now this isn't going to be Olympic style Taekwondo. We'll talk about that later. But somebody's here, he just gets mad, blam, kicks in here. I mean, can you imagine getting hit with something like that? They just sort of haul off. They're probably not going to have funny little training shoes like this. They'll have work boots with steel toe. So if I'm getting kicked with that, yeah, I'm just going to match it with my own. So when that kick comes in, picking up and just stomping down. As that happens from here, yeah, I'm ready to push, hold it back here into some kind of a defensive position. Maybe you're kind of stalking around this way. All of a sudden that kick comes in, hitting across there. If you go across my center line and now the kick's coming in, I may come in with this foot here. So let's practice this. As that one comes in, I'm turning my toes out and stamping down. If I'm over here and it comes in, toes out as I turn it down.
Noticing, I was training earlier and I was having a really hard time going out to the outside. I kind of felt maybe forced a little bit. Is there something I can be doing that would make it easier for me?
Oh, yeah, yeah. Of course, that's like the baby exercise, what I call the grandma and the granddaddy exercise, because if you're moving this way and I'm doing that straight shot, that, it's very natural. That's when it's very natural. If you're moving this way and I'm following you here, it would be awkward doing that, but it's still, this isn't the thing to do either because it's too tight. I mean, try and just move it out of the way from in, try that fan over. It's kind of, so in that case, we're gonna do the inside movement to the outside of the arm. Okay, so this hand's just gonna knock this one away. Oh yeah, yeah, so that's what we normally do inside. Now you got a jab maybe in there that way if I'm hitting here. Whoa, there it worked. There it worked on the outside. There it worked on the inside. Yeah, very good, very good. Same thing's going to happen now if I'm hooking too broadly this way, but look at the difference. If I'm right here in this position, and maybe you're kind of wary of me, if I throw that hook from here, can be hard. Try it, put this up in there, but gosh, excuse me. Anyway, that's going to come in there. So in that particular case, use this to push this from the outside. So as I'm coming in with this hook, so there really isn't a rule, hook punch or straight punch. I find that if I can see where that center is, okay, so if I'm to this side of our center, you want to go outside. If it's a hook and you're to this side of the center, going outside. If I'm over here, now, even though that's a straight, shot, I'm going to sneak this one as a straight shot. Just tap it and go. Because see now, the inside and outside of this words aren't really making sense, but there is that relationship of where it goes. So. Yeah, we talk about 2 possibilities, but really there are 4. But then there's a left and a right, so really there are 8. And then, how about this? Somebody comes in, sneaking in here. So, just dropping that arm down. So pounding on that arm. You're hitting me in the lower rib. Pound in there. I can hit or come back. I'm here. Now when you do that, I need to be outside. So we've got that outside, I'm getting hit here, down, push away, that's coming down in here. I'm off sides, I'm moving it over to the side, I can hit and come back in there. So just do that for a whole bunch of years. Getting used to seeing where that alignment is. We'll do it slowly. We'll do it with some boxing gloves on so we can go fast, put the body protectors on. Slowly get used to being able to judge. The trick is, though, where is that center of alignment?
So in this earth attitude, and really we think of it as an influence or it's a part of our attitude, we might be there naturally. I might be having one of those kind of days where I'm just in the process of establishing boundaries, and then a problem comes up, that's the way I'm going to respond. Now if it's a physical self-defense problem, but also maybe it's an argument, or maybe it's some kind of a philosophical discussion, or maybe it's at work, some kind of a tactical thing. That's going to be our way of responding in that moment. So we don't necessarily pick that response, it kind of picks us. That's where we are, and that's how we respond from that need to command.
My response is the Yeah, what's going to become the lead hand and follow up on there. In this case here, over, following up with my rear hand. Okay, maintain your control. Well, let's do this. I'm getting punched here. Whoa. So I'm in here getting punched. I'm this way. Let's go ahead and put some knees in there. That punch comes in. Whoa. I'm here hammering in and just kneeing down into this nerve-rich hip joint area. But we're not padding up here, so just do that very gently. Try that. Add that in there. A couple of those. Come around the side. Yeah, as you're going around, see if you can use, yeah, you end up behind them. That's really good. Come in here pretty closely. The dynamic of this particular punch from here, yeah, as that comes in, look at how that's just a straight shot. If I'm hit with that thing, bang, head's going to go back this way here. So we're keeping our elbow low. It'd be very easy, okay, in this case here, for these fingers to open up, and now it becomes finger jab into the eye. Okay, very valuable self-defense tool. Or if I'm coming in, some people will hunch their shoulders forward to punch. If I'm the bad guy doing that, this becomes a palm heel right in between the eyes. They're very effective, right in between the eyes. But we got this straight shot in there. I'm coming in here this way. If he's hunching toward, bang, going in there. So my elbow's low. Everybody do that. Shadow boxing with me. See if you can feel the elbow just kind of rub on your armor here a little bit. Are you rocking with that too? Get that rocking action. And we weren't doing this because we were training with a training partner, but now just be a little further out, a little more shoulder articulation in there at that last minute. I'm rocking, extending, and pushing that out there. Bang, hitting with this. Yeah, using my whole body. All right. What I'm